Okay. Alrighty. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Just gonna let everybody shuffle in. Just checking myself out, making sure everything looks okay. Hi, baby. Can you hear me okay? Do I need to talk louder? Do I need to quiet down? Nope. Then you can't see my face. It's a little quiet. Okay, so I will talk a little louder. But hi, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to my first IRL stream. Today we're going to look at my plants and also some pet time. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. I try to make this nice little setup. This is already kind of my plant space anyways, but I wanted to make it, a little more snazzy. So, hello, welcome in. Hi, Liz. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, for subbing for 4 months. Thank you. Big love. Like, seriously, that's awesome. I really appreciate that. Hello, what's up, Bryn? Hi, Frankie. Oh my gosh, sorry. If it's kind of lagging. I'm using my phone, so it's a little bit different. I don't know if the quality is better in any way or not. But I'm excited to talk plants with you guys today. Whew. Also, it's really beautiful outside. It's hot. It's like 78 degrees right now. Oh my gosh, Liz, thank you so much for the subs. That's so sweet. It's def good quality? That's awesome. Okay, noted. Slay. I am hoping to get a new camera soon, actually, so I'm excited. But yeah, welcome to my humble abode. I painted that little thing right there. Also, do you guys like my double rat tails? My wife. Excuse me. Okay. Whew. Feels great to say that. Aw, very sweet. You guys just let me know if I'm too loud or if I'm too quiet. If you guys can't see things well, please try to let me know. Thank you. Oh, look, I have little butterflies up here. I tried to, this is one of my new favorite hairstyles, and then I have my cute little Padawan braid. That's what I'm calling my rat tails, so, but yeah. Woohoo! Yeah, the mushroom painting. Yep, we finally did it. Oh, okay. Well, we've already got some challenges. Thank you. I really worked hard on it. I was focused up. Also, please feel free to try out if you guys want to redeem channel points and try out the sounds. I'm intrigued to see if they will still work since I'm using my phone, but I have OBS and stuff open on my computer.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. Wow.
Okay, they work. Oh my god. Well, thank you so much for testing. Okay, it works. Yeah. Let's get started. Bruh, indeed. Oh my god. This is gonna be interesting, isn't it? So I have 24 different plants that I'm gonna talk to you guys about today. And you know, I have some like multiples of like philodendrons, um, and stuff like that, but also I have like individual plants. Um, so basically, I'm going to like, to the best of my ability, take you on this tour. We might move around a little bit because right now you are actually on a selfie stick tripod. So we are mobile, ladies and gentlemen. And I can flip the camera so I can show you guys stuff. Um, but yeah, woohoo! Let's fucking go. Okay, well, I'm gonna start out with. Well, also, I'm a big plant nerd. I just want to like preface that, so I don't want to go too hard, too deep into it, and like annoy you guys. But I also want to like, I do want to like tell you guys things and educate you and teach you things. So I did like do a little research, and I did just basically, I like made little comments for everything, and I also got the binomial nomenclature for each plant, which is the fancy way of saying the scientific name. It's called the binomial nomenclature. What's going on in the chat? Oh, living up to being a botanist. I love plants. Okay, cool. Because I don't want to be too much, but like I spent 2 years of my life studying plants, and some of my plants look like shit right now, and I'll be honest. So, but it's like, you know, I love talking plants. Would love to answer your guys' questions and like show you, you know, show you guys plants maybe you haven't seen or haven't had yet. So, yeah, one of the first ones that we're actually going to look at is the bird of paradise. And that is this beautiful girl right here. Um, so the bird of paradise is called Strelitzia retinae, and it's described as a dramatic plant with distinctive iridescent orange and midnight blue flowers that resemble an exotic bird peeking out of the broad leaves. And so this is a plant that is actually native to South Africa, and it is a plant that is toxic to pets, specifically the flowers. So you can have it like this in your home, you know. I have worked really hard to try to train my pets to not chew on plants. So if this were to try to flower, I would probably have to cut the flower off, which is really sad. But I've had this one, I think, since I moved to Seattle. So it's been a couple of years, and it's pretty good. The leaves kind of look rough, but I can't tell if that's just from like normal wear and tear or if I really have done a number on it. But I really adore it. I have like multiple moss poles holding it up. Not because it needs moss poles, but because it it really is not super stable. And so that's something else I want to point out, is that if you're going to have this plant, you should get one at a young age, and you should train it to stand on its own, because I got somewhat of a relatively mature plant. Um, oh my gosh, we just hit 20 subs. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So when you, what, damn it, you broke my train of thought. When you leave it staked is what it's called, right? So when you leave it staked for too long, when it's growing in its most formative times of development, basically in the first couple years, when you're uh, when you're growing this plant, you really only want to have it on a stake for maybe 6 months, if even that. You want it to try to learn how to grow independently. I kind of fucked that up. And so now mine is just like, it doesn't really have that stability to hold itself up. It still grows fine. It's not, you know, I just have to like use a bunch of things to hold it up, because it is like a sturdy plant. And in the future, I'll probably have to like build something to stake it properly if I want it to grow bigger. So yeah, this is the first plant we're covering today. I love it. I think it's a really good plant. It's really giving with its leaves. Um, So for like care, it's adaptable to a wide spectrum of light conditions from like direct sun to low indirect light. It's best in direct sun, and it needs consistent moist soil, not wet or soggy soil, and it loves high humidity environments. Okay. Luna would like to believe she cannot be trained. That is true. They still will come up and try to fuck with them, but they know it's not okay. Okay, so the next one that we're going to look at is the Chinese money plant, Peperomia pilea. I have a little baby one right now. It's actually my first one. I've always wanted one of these. It is so cute. These can actually be trained to go up these moss poles, and they can get really tall, and it's really, really cute. It is a cow. Yeah, my mom got me that. But yeah, it's a really sweet little plant. It grows pretty steadily, and it's really I love it. Like, I've always wanted one, and I don't really know why I never got one. But uh they aren't like hard to find. If you go to a local exotic plant shop, there's probably multiple of these. And there's lots of different forms. I think we'll see a lot of different like forms today. Because, this is a peperomia, but some of them can look so different. It's yeah, you'll see. Okay, so it's described as easy to care for and pleasing to the eye, and it is native to China. Um, and so you want to water it when the soil feels dry and weekly in the summer. I loved that it said fortnightly in the winter, as if I would know what the fuck a fortnight is. Fortnite! You mean that video game that people like to play? No, like a fortnight in winter. It does like to be fertilized every few months. Oh, is it 2 weeks? Everyone knows that. No, I don't. I didn't. I didn't study forts. So, um, anyways, so it needs to be evenly rotated to encourage consistent growth pattern, which is something that's really important. It needs to be in like a warm spot. And was it in an Abe Lincoln speech? Y'all, listen, I was raised in a small town. Do you think I actually received a true education? I had to go to college. Fern in the mirror. Where is he? Can we see him? There he is. And it's just his ass. Yeah, right? He's doing the belly thing, but over there. Well, I'm going to like lure them with treats later so that we can have time with them. But yeah, so one of the things that's really awesome about this one too, I want to hold it. It's so cute. Is that this one actually is safe for pets. So you can have this at home and it's okay. I still don't recommend like letting your pets chew on a plant. It sucks because they sell stuff like cat grass, and I'm accidentally covering this, sorry. They sell stuff like cat grass, and that's really cool, and I love like the enrichment of that. But having indoor cats, I don't want to encourage them to chew on plant material. So that's kind of, I don't, oh, the lights just turned off. Love that. But so I don't really like get cat grass. I never have, for that reason, because I felt like it was just kind of, that makes it confusing. It's like I can chew on this plant, but not others, and so I'm like, let's not. I can give them catnip and they're fine. Okay. She fell over. All right. Cool. How are you guys doing? Happy Friday, by the way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wanting to learn about plants. Oh yeah, spider plants. Thank you for bringing that up. spider plants are super hallucinogenic for cats, but like not harmful. So that's just something to know, because if you get one, they might gnaw on it. Um, okay, so the next one I'm going to do is the snake plant, which I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with. Also, guys, don't forget to look at the emotes. I made some emotes for some of the plants that we're going to see today. Some of them you do have to be a sub to be able to use. But I also made new Julie emotes with the same hairstyle that I have right now. So please, like, held for misogyny. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, Automod was like, hey, whoa, slow down. Okay. Yeah, so snake plants. Drinking a yerba mate is delicious. Wait. Breaking the fourth fucking wall right now. Breaking the fourth wall! Anyways. This is, thank you, thrifting, My god, this snake plant has gotten so out of control. She is like a wide bitch for some reason. But this is my snake plant. Let me get up her name. Come on now. Okay, I did study Latin terms, but like pronunciation was always something that was subjective at that point. So Dracana trefasciata is the binomial nomenclature for the snake plant. She's so big. I feel like she needs to be repotted. I did steal some soil from her at one point to put in another plant. So, but she's strong, and that's cool. They often give off little babies sometimes around this base area, which can be really great. But also remember that they're hard to propagate. So, no, don't mail me soil. I have soil. It's okay. I just like to torture my plants to see how far I can take it. Like we're testing the limits. So yeah, the snake plant is a really, really fun and aesthetically pleasing plant. And I don't know if anyone knew this. I actually don't know if I did before I was looking this up, but it is an air purifying plant, and it pulls toxins and pollutants such as formaldehyde, benzene, and xylene. They're native to West Central Africa, and this is something that is technically toxic to pets. But once again, I think we just say don't let pets chew on these things ever. And so when it comes to caring for them, it's actually it's super easy. Sorry, you guys are talking so fast. I'm trying hard to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, high stress training indeed. I want them to be strong. Big and strong. If you're gonna roll with me, you need to be fucking strong, okay? So, I'm looking for dominant species only. Sorry. That's wild. Anyways, so it is particularly effective in low light environments, hard to kill. I would say that just mainly be careful of overwatering them, because they kind of like it in the in between, but too much water will always make them unhappy. And there's lots of different variegated versions of these. There's ones that have like yellow stripes going around the edge. That's a very, very, very common one that people see. There's ones that are just green like this. There's so many different kinds. So you can kind of play around with all of the different variegated versions, and it's really, really fun. Okay, so String of Hearts. This one is going to be another mover, and we're going to do actually a little flip. So do a flip, everybody in the chat. Do a flip. Okay. So this is my string of hearts. It has gotten to the point where it is now touching the floor almost and creeping into other pots. So obviously it's called a string of hearts because of the heart-shaped leaves. So cute, and this one is so easy to propagate. It gives so much for, so yeah, I know. I literally cut this like just a few months ago and it's already down to the floor again. And it has these really cool little nodes, this thing in my fingertips. So you can cut this off of the plant and put it in water, and then you can have a lot more plants. So when I first had this plant, it was actually just like really only making this big one strand, right? And so I had to chop it, as some previously said. And so I made a bunch of babies, gave some to friends, and then I replanted them. Oh my God, all the way up there in hopes that one day it will be fuller. But I'd say, I mean, this plant I've had since 2020, and I'd say real beaut. Focus, please. Oh well. Um, but it's a really beautiful plant, and it's really lovely. Um, Flip it around again. Welcome back. Also, we will. I will show you guys some axolotl time as well, but that's coming up. Okay, so string of hearts is Ceropegia woodii, described as an ornamental houseplant with evergreen, succulent training vines and heart-shaped leaves. They are native to South Africa. Sorry, it's so hot. They are most like succulents, and so they thrive in kind of bright indirect light, but not in like, they don't want to be in hot sun or really direct sun. They love like regular watering in the summer, and in the winter, as we know, just allow there to be more time in between those waterings, because with less sunlight, there's going to be less water uptake, so that moisture is just going to stay there for a lot longer, and you don't want to get root rot, and you don't want to make the plant unhappy. This one also is marked safe for pets, but honestly, again, we don't let them chew. No chewing. Okay. Warm as hell. It's okay though. It's worth it. All right. Whew. I worked hard on those little emotes, and so the prayer plant one I think was probably my favorite one to make because it was just so fun. Yeah, so prayer plant Maranta lucunera nura. So it's a part of the Calathea family. It's rhizomatous, low growing, clumping, tropical perennial. Also one of the few plants that opens and closes in morning and night. It's very subtle in some of them, and then some of them are really dramatic when it comes to that. Yeah, this is my second one. Actually, no, this is probably my third, because calatheas are extremely difficult. They're just really sensitive. And so you might think something's wrong at first because the plant can like kind of close, but it'll open back up. And then you find, oh, my plant's actually okay. And so this is just one of those plants that does that. It's native to rainforests in Central and South America. Yeah, they're really sensitive, as I said. They're more delicate. I've killed a few of them, and I keep buying more to replace them. And a lot of people suggest watering them with like distilled water because these plants are really sensitive to the chemicals in regular water. It thrives in a medium and bright indirect light. It can be susceptible to getting sunburned in intense direct hot sun, and it really likes high humidity and warm temperatures. It can be kind of difficult, right? Because you need to have a balance of not putting it too close to the window where it can get that cold exposure from the window. Um, but also you need a window for light. But yeah, it is so cute. Look at this little tiny one. Yeah, thank you for using the emotes. I drew them and they were fun. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move into the monsteras. Um, I have more than one monstera, technically. Um, there is some so there's some like debate because some other plants are called monsteras, but they don't actually have the monstera in their binomial nomenclature. So, for instance, I will show you guys one. I probably will start actually with first just the classic monstera. Um, so, another thing, monsteras um, are commonly known as the Swiss cheese plant, Monstera deliciosa. So both Monstera deliciosa and the very common Monstera addisoni are both called the Swiss cheese plant, which often causes a lot of confusion. So most people call this version by its scientific name. Um, I will turn this real quick so you guys can get a good look at her. This is my girl. I've had her for a few years. 4, I think. Yeah. And I've been training it to climb in a or to grow in a climbing habit. So it's been taking quite a while. Don't mind the mess, you know, we had to make room for everything. But it just gave me this new leaf after a while of not really producing leaves, and it wasn't in the best spot. So it is a lot happier now. But yeah, so we will see these in places like Hawaii. I mean, it's been exposed all over the place, and now it is invasive in some parts of the world. But it can you be mad with it when it looks so pretty like that, you know? And I know that yes, you can, but it's still I say that this is one of the most fun plants to have. This is also one of the plants I've probably had the longest. It's been extremely forgiving, from my cats falling on top of it and breaking pieces of it to just not really getting enough light and resisting root rot. They have these really, really cool aerial roots that try to grab onto stuff. And I had to like force this really long one to go back into the pot. Um, but yeah, so this is, I mean, she's as tall as me now. I'm 5'2", right? So, haha, what's up, gamer set? Um, so yeah, I am like, and I, of course, we have a testament to her right there because she is magnificent. She is strong. And it's so, I mean, some of the really happy ones in Hawaii and Thailand and all these different places, they are massive. The leaves are arm, arms wide open, large. In the right environment, the monstera can just absolutely thrive. Ugh, stop hitting me. Anyways, um, so let's go over some more facts about monsteras. So it's actually a part of the philodendron family, and it can flower and it can fruit. I've never seen mine fruit or flower. It is kind of rare to see when it's an indoor plant. But I've been told that the fruit kind of tastes like banana. So that's exciting and fun as well. Because I love bananas. That's just me. Um, but yeah, so they are native to the tropical forest of southern Mexico, south to Panama. It has been introduced to many tropical areas and has become mildly invasive. Feels like very light. It is invasive for places like Hawaii, Ascension Island, and the Society Islands. Um, and so, you know, in these perfect environments, these plants just get huge. Same thing with the common pothos. I don't know if you've ever seen a Hawaiian pothos before, but if you haven't, you should look it up, because if you have a pothos, you're going to feel a little bit bummed that yours doesn't look like that, but it's just fabulous because the Hawaiian pothos is just so magnificent. It grows all the way up these huge eucalyptus trees on the big island in Hawaii, and they're just these broad, beautiful leaves of this pothos that we know so well. But oof, like it's beautiful. So with care for this Swiss cheese plant, as we saw, just the Monstera deliciosa, it needs watering every 1 to 2 weeks. Expect to water it more in a brighter light area and then less in a lower light area. It thrives in like a medium indirect light. It's not suited for really, really hot sun, but it has been known to acclimate to withstand it, and it prefers warmer temperatures. Um, I love it. I think it's one of my favorite plants ever. Like I remember when I first started kind of building my collection of plants, like that's all I wanted. I was like, I want a monstera, I want a monstera, and I've hung on to her tight, and I love it. It's a beautiful plant. I don't know if I'm moving too fast. Does anyone have any questions about any plants right now? I don't want to just scooch along and not answer your guys' questions. Like I said, I can just talk and talk and talk about them. And so I don't want to just like full, I don't know. I don't want to hit the gas too hard and just fly past you. Um, but if you guys don't have any questions right now, whew, then I will move on, and I'm going to oh, it's been good. That's good. Gonna drink some of my yerba. I don't know about you guys, but I think that the mint one, the mint yerba, is actually the best one. The other ones just taste too perfumey when they like try to make it taste fruity for some reason, but like the mint tea tastes good to me. So, okay. Whoa! We've been going for 30 minutes already, and I think I've only said like 4 plants. God, sorry guys. Okay. So we're gonna move forward to, as I was talking about earlier, there's some kinds of plants that are called monsteras, but their binomial nomenclature doesn't actually contain monstera in it, and so one of those is actually the mini monstera, um, and I love its name, even though it's not a monstera. It's Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So intense. What a name. And so this is another one that we have to get up for because she cannot be moved. She's in a delicate place. So we will turn around. This is my, let's see, get it to focus. There we go. This right here is the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So it is in a small pot down on the floor down there, and it has just been growing up the wall. Um, it also does have similar but different aerial roots to the Monstera deliciosa. You have to be careful with these aerial roots and check them, move them often because they can, ooh, that one's trying to see, they can grow into your wall. So you do need to be careful. Looks like mine was already trying to do that, and I just found that out. But yeah, so she's really tall. She has been extremely giving. Look at that beauty. I mean, this is a shockingly, again, giving plant as well. I there at one point this thing was just a stick with no leaves, and I was like, I've killed it. It's over, and it is one of those things that you can restart and you can refresh and say, let's try again, and it will give you that. And I feel so lucky. It is such a beautiful plant. I obviously, it's called the mini monstera because of the similarity in the leaves. That split leaf is common for monsteras, and so a lot of people say, "Oh, well, this is a monstera." Actually, it's not. It's something slightly different. But in the plant world, we kind of move around and say a lot of different things for for common names as well. That's why it's like a lot of the time you just call them by their binomial nomenclature, their scientific name. But yeah, if you can see how tall it is next to my head. Yeah, I haven't even shown you guys my string yet. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, everyone. Cut that, cut that, cut that. Anyways. Okay, so even though it's not actually a monstera, it's still called one mini monstera. It's so cute. It's lovely.
Bruh.
What are we braying about because of the tits? Listen, it was an accident, and soon in a couple months I won't have them anymore, and it won't be a problem. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Boo. Unsubscribe. Sorry. Anyways, um, so these are actually native to southern Thailand. The Rhaphidophora tetrasperma is. Oh, Fern has moved, but it's still his ass. Yeah, it's his favorite part of it is the ass. So it likes several hours of bright indirect light daily and loves having its leaves misted. That's something that I noticed. It really started to grow when I introduced a lot more humidity. And then it was like, phew. And so it is sensitive to being overwatered. It's one of those plants that you don't want to water it until the top layer of soil is dry to the touch. Usually I say, yeah, it cut me off. Okay, we can change around the sounds a little bit, with the seasons. But so you can actually put your finger in I would say recommend putting your whole pointer finger into your plant. And if it's dry all the way from like the tip of your finger to your knuckle, then it's gonna be okay. It's ready for watering. So that is what I recommend. Okay. I'm gonna sit for a second. As you can see, this was my COVID obsession. Okay, so this is how this all started for me was COVID. Like I guess I was starting to get into it a little bit before COVID, but I was mainly just doing stuff with like succulents because those were really the easiest ones I could navigate at that time before really knowing anything. So yeah, I have I have killed so many plants. I've bought many plants. I've propagated many plants. Then I went to horticulture school and I got an associate's degree in applied science based in landscape horticulture. And that leads me to literally now. Oh, hydrate? Did you say drink more yerba? Oh, okay. I literally. Okay, I'll go get my water bottle. I haven't had any water like at all today. Oh, good. There actually is water in here. Daddy's little daddy. Anyway. Thank you for reminding me to drink some water. Everyone, if you need some water, you should drink some. It has been a really beautiful day today, so we should make sure to hydrate. Remember that. It's not like you need me to tell you got to this point. Mic boom. Is that loud? Is that really loud for you guys? Headphone users? Anyone? No, actually. Good. Good. I'm glad. Okay. Sorry, now I'm just kind of goofing with myself in the mirror. And then look, you can see my fucking shoulder. Don't look at it. Anyways. There you are. It was okay. Interesting. So we're all you guys. So I think maybe the problem is y'all have your volume at different levels. Titty we laugh at, but shoulder has to be covered. Yeah, actually. Yeah. Okay. So moving forward, drinking a little bit more water. If you didn't drink any, you should drink some. Because that was refreshing. So I think I just saw smoke coming out of my mouth still. Okay. Now we're moving on to the very common and very, very loved pothos. So I only have 2 different kinds of pothos, but there's kind of a reason for that. Dr. Pepper is water to me. Pin that in the chat, please, for like 5 minutes or something. Spicy water. With like, what do they say? How many flavors is in it? Like 72? I don't know. Okay, anyways, pothos. So I only have 2 of them because the one that I did get, I got from a friend, and it only had one desire in life: to be extremely fucking long and not lush, just long. So yeah, I'm talking about the golden pothos, epipremnum aureum. Sorry, I do stutter sometimes. Epipremnum aureum. So I do want to say aurea is something that is repeated a lot in binomial nomenclatures at the end of things. It's a descriptor. So aurea means like usually gold. So it does not like to sit in water for too long, and it is something that is toxic to pets. And so now, yeah, we're going to be seeing the long man. So I've had this pothos. I've also had this pothos. So this is where she starts, right there in that pot. I've had it since 2020. And it has literally grown to be like, I think last we measured it was like 18 feet, maybe. So yeah, it is, just for perspective. I'll come stand at the end of it. It is long. It's a 2.5 gabes. Yeah. So not all pothos grow like this. Remember, plants are individuals, so they all have different habits. And this one, it does have another vine that goes up over the window, and it has a lot more leaves. But it literally, this is my mother plant. This is where I always take my cuttings from. And because it's just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And I can't let it like touch the floor because I don't want my pets to get sick. But this is like what we're talking about with that aurea. That this is what makes it the golden pothos. Is that really beautiful, those little stripes of gold on the leaves. On the leaves. Excuse me. So yeah. And there's a lot of different pothos varieties. They're really beautiful. I love them. When they grow lush, they are so lovely. And so we're actually going to talk about one of the other ones right there. And I'm going to grab it so I can show you guys a little bit more detail. So the next one I'm going to grab is the Marble Queen. It's oh God, this is really hard. Epremnum aureum Marble Queen. No, Fern, please don't drink from my straw. Thank you. And so actually, the fabulous Frankie in the chat, whoop, whoop, gave me this little baby, and it has been a very happy little plant, and it is so beautiful, and I really, really love it. And so actually, maybe I will just bring you guys up with me. It's a lot easier for me. So it's being a little dramatic, okay? Pothos can be dramatic when it comes to watering them. They will wilt, and they will let you know that you need to give them water bad. So I watered it a few hours ago. It's still kind of feeling soggy, but down here is perked up a lot more. So this is what makes it the marble queen on those leaves. It's beautiful. It's like also, again, like these plants, they just grow and they grow and they grow and they don't stop. So you can do so much with it. You can put them on the wall, but again, remember, as we are seeing over here, right there, yep, get out of there. They will grow into your walls sometimes, so you got to watch out for those little aerial roots. They're really subtle, they're really small, and they'll get you. But yeah, I love this beauty. The goal is to have it, once it gets long enough, I'm gonna have it train onto this mirror and kind of, it's supposed to be helping screen my massive AC unit because a bitch gets hot. So yes, the ever lovely pothos that we all know and love because it's just reliable, old reliable, Um, it is toxic to pets, which is always kind of a bummer, but this is a plant, as you can see, that you can hang it up and have it up high if you keep it going and trim it and do all the things that, I guess I've been saying that I do with mine. Then you're not going to have a problem with your cat or animals getting to it. But yeah, this is something that I don't recommend having at like a animal child level. It's something that I would recommend putting up there. Yeah, toxic, not poisonous. And so yeah, it's still, I don't advise people to eat things that may hurt your belly. And so it can be toxic to pets. And so they can be really forgiving when it comes to plant care. Like I said, they will let you know. They will let you know when they need water. Okay. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, when am I gonna water my pothos? It'll just be super fucking dramatic about it, and then you're like, oh my god, I think it's dead, and then you water it, and a couple hours later, it's like, hey, bitch. So I highly recommend if you're like a new plant person to get a pothos for sure. It's it's a good one, Similarly, this is not one that I have because I just don't really like this kind of plant, but like peace lilies are also known to be a very dramatic plant, and plants do have a wilting point, so try not to push it. If you see it wilt, water it immediately because it does get to a point of no return. Okay, well, we have just moved through the pothos category now to the philodendrons, which I think I have, out of all of the different kinds of plants that I have like more philodendrons than I actually thought that I had until I had to list them out and like get ready for this to show you guys. So, and some of them don't look good. Okay. Because philodendrons are tough little bitches. It's like some of them are really happy, some of them really don't like it. So, don't like me. I don't know, but I'm trying. Some of them just need to be repotted. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't get one just because mine looks like shit. So, keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to start with the Hope philodendron. This one has a crazy name. Thaumatophyllum bipinnatifidum. I don't know. Yeah. So it's a dense, low-spreading tropical plant with deeply dissected, lobed green leaves. Let me grab her for you. Mine has been kind of pissy. Oh, and now she's leaking out of her butt. No, I thought you had already absorbed your water. So this is what I'm talking about, the Hope philodendron. As I said, mine is not happy right now. Okay? Okay. So don't get mad at me. Okay? I put it in a new spot because I thought it was going to give it more room, and it's mad. But as you can see, the leaves are fabulous. It's really cool. These can get huge as well. Kind of an underestimated plant, I would say, when it comes to size and what it needs. Um, so, as I said, tropical plant with deeply dissected lobed green leaves that are glossy foliage, and foliage arches downward from long upright petioles, and it flowers rarely, but it does do well in low light. I think it's most sensitive probably to watering, and I think I've been caring too much about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, yeah, it's all work in progress. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I take the best care of my plants because I studied horticulture. I just take care of my plants the best that I can, just like everyone else does. So, all with the grain of salt, rice, whatever you prefer. But I try my best. And one day I really hope to have like a whole room just dedicated to them. And everybody's been focused and positioned and put in places. And I did do that when it comes to my plant setup. So, you still plants, like I said, they also are individuals. Sometimes they're not going to like the same things that they should characteristically like. And that's something that you're not going to know if you don't try it out. Like I had that hope philodendron sitting in the same place for quite a while. So I moved it and it doesn't like it there. So I got to find a new spot, you know? That's a lot of what working with plants is just trial and error. It doesn't usually just like equal to like one problem. It's usually one thing or multiple things or nothing. Maybe it's just being a bitch. You know what I mean? Um Anyways, so there's also this one. This is like one of my favorite philodendrons. And it is so happy. And it's like, again, some plants, I think we all have our own plants that we touch and it works well with us. And then there's ones that we touch and it's like, don't touch me. So this one likes me. This is like I said, philodendron narrow, philodendron siloam narrow. This one has gotten massive. Let's see. Can we lift you up and take you over? Oh. Oh boy. Woo. Okay. Yeah. Oh. So as you can see, this is a big old tall plant. But it's so fun. It's so cool. It's so giving. I was really shocked at the ease of this plant. It's like if you give it good sun and good humidity and allow it to have that proper time watering, I mean between watering to dry out and everything, it just goes and goes. Like this, she's been busy, you know what I mean? Like it's just focused on trying to make more. So this is obviously like my favorite part of it. The leaves are so cool. I mean, I love me a weird wiggly leaf. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, when they first come up, they are kind of a reddish color. And then as they harden and get their color, they start to go to this nice thick green, and it is very beautiful. I've moved this to a pretty full sun spot, and it is like, thank you so much. So yes, again, philodendron narrow, philodendron siloam narrow. And so, I don't think I forgot that I like went through the philodendrons with just their characteristics and then I give care instructions. Sorry. I did plan this in a whole way. So yeah, this one just makes me happy. And I actually got this one at the college while I was working in the nursery and taking classes, and I didn't think I'd be keeping it alive. And it is just like, it is my friend. This one's my friend, this is my guy. So, yeah, I'm going to put this little bad boy back now real quick. Ooh, I need to figure out how to do transitions for y'all. because I don't want you to have to see my little weird body. Oh god. Okay. The next one I think is also one of my favorites, but it's kind of one that I've abused in some ways. Like I just didn't really prioritize it like other plants, and now it's like I'm fine, but it's just gotten like proportionately a little bit odd. So love that. Super fun. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So this one's actually a fiddle leaf philodendron. Philodendron pandurae for my and another thing that, you know, from working at the greenhouse and spending time at school, we got student discounts. She's really tall, and but it's called the fiddle leaf philodendron because of this shape on the leaves. I'm trying to find one that's particularly fiddled. I guess it's probably this one, but it's got more of the, I don't know what to call this. Anyways, I guess a fiddle head. So yeah, fiddle shaped glossy green leaves. Scared me. Holy fuck. Woo! Scared me. Sorry. You got me good, motherfuckers. So this one's also known as the horsehead philodendron, and maybe that makes more sense to the shape when you look at it, which is kind of fun, honestly. And yeah, this is like one that I really had never seen in a plant shop. So when I saw it at the nursery at school, I was like, give me that right now. And we got, like I said, student discount. It was a problem. So yeah, this one is so cute. It's really like, it really likes water. This one seems to be more, instead of kind of being on the opposite end of like the other philodendrons that I've showed you, where they're like, don't give me too much. This one's like, I like it a lot. And again, plants are individuals. Test it yourself. Introduce it slowly. You know, take your time with that kind of stuff. So is this related to the fiddle leaf fig? So I don't think it is like in any way genus, species, anything like that related. But I think that this shape of the leaf is supposed to be kind of that fiddle shape. So I think that's the similarity in it, is that they have similar shaped leaves. So that's kind of one of my really weird and fun plants. Again, the fuck is that? But up here, so cute. Looky. So, I love it, and yeah, I absolutely adore this little bad bitch. Even though I have abused it for so long, I'm gonna try better. Try to be better. Okay, so moving on. I am so excited to show you guys this one. Whew. Try not to be it. Throw up, like, if you are a sub, please throw up the pink princess philodendron emo in the chat, please. I worked hard on that. Please enjoy it. So it's philodendron arabescens pink princess. This was something that I had tried to really keep my eyes out for, because online getting cuttings and stuff, it's not really reliable. And also it's really price gouged. So as you can see, this is a really young pink princess. She's really young, but getting up close and personal with this leaf right now. Do you see the pink pieces on this leaf? Thank you for putting that pink princess in the chat. Yeah, so I found this at QFC for $7. Okay, so you need to be paying attention and check out the plant section and the floral section every time you go to a Safeway, or if you go to a QFC, because every once in a while, exotic, like kind of sought after plants will just randomly show up in those places. And I was waiting for this day. Leave it to me to have a pink plant. Isn't that the goddamn truth? Because I love pink. And so this is a slow growing hybrid philodendron, and it's selected for the features, the colorful variegated foliage and the upright vining habit. So this is another one like that philodendron I showed you, the philodendron narrow. This one's good, would be benefited by being up on a moss pole. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, you guys will also get to see in the Discord as it gets older and as it gives more pink leaves. I will be updating you 100%, because this is like, I was like, oh my God, I just saw the other side of the leaf, you guys. It's all pink. I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, well, you know, hit that Discord in the chat, y'all, real quick, so that you guys will be able to see the updates of this leaf as it comes out, because I've got nothing better to do than fucking stare at these. So, yeah, I am so happy about this. Amazed. Again, $7 at QFC, right? Okay. So whenever you go get your prescriptions, or you just go just look around the plant section. Like the other day I literally saw like a whole elephant ear plant at the Safeway. And I was like, what? Like that, they get the most random stuff. And this one I got from QFC, as I said, no pests. Had a little bit of damage from just being, I don't know, tossed around. Some of them looked really rough. Tossed around, no. Transport damage, obviously. And so I'm so happy to see it putting out a new leaf. And not only that, but this leaf has such a big pink spot. I'm just trying to not like geek the fuck out. Anyways, so again, Pink Princess in the chat, we love her. And yeah, join the Discord to see how this leaf comes out. I swear to God, because I'll be losing my mind. Anyways, I can't sit here and geek out over it for too long because I don't want to bore you guys, but I could just keep going. So yeah, it has heart-shaped leaves that are dark purplish green with contrasting pink variegation. I remember during the pandemic, this was a really sought after plant. It has become more common, so it's something that you could probably find for a relatively good price. And if it's something that you wanted to invest in, I think it's totally worth it. Just something to know about variegated plants in general. Okay, is that so variegated plants are bred to grow with that variegation, but you got to remember that means it's a hybrid, right? So it still has the traits of another plant mixed with a different kind of plant. So as it grows this different hybrid, it's also going to try to still grow the other part of its genetic code, basically. And if you want to encourage the variegated part of that plant to grow, you actually want to cut off the leaves in the parts that aren't variegated to encourage it to put out more variegated pieces. So the more you know, that's how you can actually kind of keep that going. I didn't know about that until I was in horticulture school and like working with shrubs. And then I was like, why does this shrub have one green piece? And it's like, well, that's called a reversion. And so that's what it is it's like the base plant of this hybrid, it's starting to revert back to that base plant, and you want to keep that hybrid gene strong. I don't know if that's like how exactly you say it. So you want to encourage it to keep growing those pieces. Anyways, yeah, really fun stuff, and really I love this stuff. I'm sorry, I can't. It's so much fun. Okay, more philodendrons. I told you I have a lot. And so the next one is the black and gold philodendron. So it's philodendron melanochrysum. This one, again, I just love it. It's a little weird. She started going a little wonky, and I had to give her like a big haircut and kind of a do-over. Oh my God, it's like so stuck right now. Ugh. But it is so don't mind these leaves that are trying to unfurl right now. But so this is it. It's got that nice velvety texture on the leaves, which is one of my favorite things about it. Personally, I love that velvety. A velvety leaf is just so satisfying. Is that one of the velvety guys? Yes, it is the velvety guys. Yes, and they are. I mean, this leaf that it gave me, I was like, okay, thank you. It's fabulous. Yeah, it's really great. This is another one that has that vining habit, so I should probably get it into a new pot, get it on one of those moss poles, and get it ready to go, and so it can start growing upward and get that support. Um, but yeah, again, this was also, I think, maybe about $20. So these are all affordable. It's about actually being able to maintain it, and it's freaking hard. So this is one that loves part sun and evenly moist soil, and that evenly moist soil is actually it's really important because it's so sensitive. If it's dry, it's gonna be pissed. It'll let you know. So yeah, also loves high humidity. I mean, I basically keep most of my philodendrons and my alocasias close to the humidifier, and some of my younger plants too, just to give them that boost. Um, so this is one that usually stays quite close and gets watered weekly because it's like, I'm thirsty. So yes, we love it. Black and gold philodendron, we love you. Okay, put that. Oh God, put it back. I know I'm making lots of noises. Okay, so the next one is a plant that I've had for a couple of years, and it has actually just struggled for years. I suggest this is one that I do suggest looking up to see what it looks like. I'm sure you can understand why. This is called a Dark Lord philodendron. This is a Dark Lord philodendron. Philodendron arabescens Dark Lord. It's easy to care for, I guess. Oh, hi, Mom. Thanks for being here. So, listen, this thing's been a problem child since I got it. I got it as a cutting. It was like going strong. It was okay. And then, like, hated its life. And then now it's like, it's trying again. So, philodendrons are just a little bit dramatic. You kind of just got to, like, roll with that. So, it thrives in the bright indirect light, but it can handle like medium light. If it becomes too leggy, you can move it to a more well lit area. And so this is a plant that's native to Mexico, West Indies, and Brazil. So yeah, now we're going to do a little learning lesson. So what it means by being leggy, that is what we call, excuse me, being stoloniferous. So what is being stoloniferous? So basically, you've got the one plant, the mother plant. It's growing, it's happy, whatever, you know. And then it puts out a shoot that develops leaves and its own little roots. And then that shoot puts out another shoot, puts out that, and gets more roots. And so this is what we call stoloniferous. It's a really awesome tactic that plants use to just basically just be like, here's more babies. And this is what we would call like a colony of plants. You see plants and you think it's like all different plants, but in reality, it could be one plant that has just a bunch of different stolons. And so it's kind of cool. And like if you were to separate one of these, it would be okay because it has that little established rootstock. And that's the whole point, because it'll just turn into a whole another plant. So yeah, there's your lesson. It's something I think that's really cool about philodendrons as well. Just like something that's what they call being leggy, because philodendrons have different habits, as all plants do. And even different hybrids of them have different habits when it comes to their growing patterns. So yeah. Okay. So prefers medium to bright indirect light. In general, philodendrons, they really just like that. It can adapt to low light, but it will grow a lot slower if it's in low light. And water when the top of the soil is completely dry. So again, like I said, like your pointer finger, put your finger in there. If it's completely dry in that top 2 inches of the soil, then you should definitely water it. Otherwise, give it some time. But again, that just depends on the plant. I've seen trees do this when I'm in someone's lawn treating it, and also little helicopter leaves make the trees make like tree saplings. Yeah. So that's I love that I get to share this with you guys actually. In the horticulture fields, we call those volunteers because that's how trees are built to like breed and spread their, I mean, most plants, it's like just seeds and little me's everywhere, you know? So yeah, when you see a bunch of tiny little ones coming up right next to the big one, it's like, okay, well, y'all volunteered, but you don't need to be here. Mama meant to put you like a couple miles away. So, fun facts. Okay, so now we're moving into begonias. I had a begonia for a few years. It died. It was very disappointing because it was getting long and beautiful. And then guess what happened? My cat fell on it. Second plant that she's done that to. So it's a little heartbreaking. But and then it just kind of went on a steady decline from there. But so they can be kind of sensitive. You need to pay attention to them. I think more than I thought. I thought they were hardier, and some varieties of them are. And so the first one we're going to look at is the angel wing begonia, Begonia argenteo gutata. And so I actually just have a baby of this right now because I had to restart. So this is my little baby. And so this shape right here is kind of like an angel's wing, which is why it gets its name. It's called the angel wing begonia for that reason. One of my favorite things about it, it will get more prominent as it gets older, but the little silvery spots on the leaves are just so beautiful. And not only that, but as it gets older, sometimes it gets really like sparkly in there in those silvery spots, and it is so beautiful. Yeah, this one I love this little guy. It's so cute. Begonias are definitely a plant that it's like they look harder to care for than they are, but you still need to pay attention to them. Oh, look at those cute little ones. I know they're kind of looking not so great, but yeah. So this is a little angel wing begonia. So yeah, it's called that because of the shape of its wings. It has beautiful foliage and heavy clusters of dangling flowers that can be different colors like cherry red, orange, salmon, pink, and white. And so these are a member of the fibrous cane begonia group. So there's a lot of different kinds of stems, right? Yeah, plants. Hi, Tyler. Welcome in. So yeah, this one has like a fibrous consistency to its cane, basically, is what it's saying. More of sometimes canes, what we call sometimes like raspberry canes, right? For a raspberry bush, they can become more woody and hardened. And so this is more of a fibrous cane. So it's a little bit more fleshy and herby, green. I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so next one we're going to move to is the pink angel wing begonia. As you can tell, I like pink versions of plants. But yeah, this is a really cool one. Its leaves are like these dark green with these pink spots, but then the back of these leaves are just bright red. I know she looks a little sus. It's okay. She's all right. They got to learn how to be big and strong, don't they? So basically, this is like almost like a copy and paste of the last one that you just saw, but it's got this beautiful, those cute little pink dots, and it's really cool. It's really vibrant. As it gets bigger, it can be, I mean, begonias can be anywhere from to like 6 feet tall. If you really help train these canes to grow upward, give them that strength that we were talking about earlier, the staking, not staking it for too long and letting them develop that, like what we call like trunk strength, um and it can get so tall and so magnificent, and it's really cool. So this is something that I feel like it's kind of a slept on plant. Like begonias, they're so fabulous. They're also beautiful, you gotta love them, be care for them. Okay. So care wise, they are easy to care for. They enjoy bright and direct light and sometimes direct warm sun, but they'll need more watering during the summer and less water in the winter. And they do appreciate humidity, so you want to make sure you give them a little spritz. I can actually, I in the Discord, I will link what I use for misting my plants, because it's a specific kind of spray bottle. It's actually not even for spraying or misting plants. It's for styling hair. So but it just has like the longest amount of stream mist wise that I've ever seen. And it does a great job. I use it for also misting the reptile tank as well. So yeah, it's got multiple uses. I also have like larger versions for my actual hair. But it's great, and it's fabulous if you don't have a humidifier at home. Okay, so a fun fact about begonias. Let's wipe off the screen this real quick. Okay, so begonias have 4 different types of growth habits for their variegated versions. There's like wax, tuberous, cane, and rhizomatous. So I know I was talking about rhizomes earlier. I don't know if we went over that really at all. So there's different kinds of root systems that plants grow, because like we saw in that picture I drew, some plants, they have these little really delicate fibrous roots. So these are called fibrous roots. Um, and then some plants, like for instance, the snake plant, like the one that we're talking about here, the begonias, they can have what's called a rhizome. So it's like, it can be, I mean, potatoes are rhizomes, basically. So it's just like a big root. It can look really weird and ugly, but then there's a big plant up there. And usually they always do have some kind of form of like a fibrous root that comes off of them, because these delicate little roots, you need to be careful with these really small ones, because those are the ones that actually uptake water. So the more when you're, transplanting, you want to be more worried about those really tiny fibrous ones, because those are the ones that help it take up the water. But yeah, so, and then we have canes, like I said. So the only thing I can use to compare is a raspberry bush and the way that it grows. I'm not really good at drawing this, am I? Differentiating, at least. Too close. Yeah. So, we have raspberry canes, and they grow in this upward forming habit, but it's still like one plant. It's just a caning form, basically. And then what was the last one? Uh I think wax, but I'm honestly not sure what that even means. So yeah, but yeah, so there's like, it's really interesting. If you when you look at this, you're seeing how one like species of plant can differentiate to all these different types of root systems for survival, basically. And yeah, I think it's something that's just really fascinating. Nerd out moment. Anyways, so begonias are native to climates of South and Central America, Africa, and Southern Asia. And also, begonias are monoecious, meaning male and female flowers occur separately on the same plant. And that actually, there's like a lot, that's something that people don't really talk about, but there are like male and female plants technically. Like for instance, ginkgo trees. Here in Seattle, we actually it's illegal to plant female ginkgo trees because of they're the ones that produce that fruit that obviously is sought after for medicinal purposes and all those different things. But it can I'll have fun at Walmart. You're so welcome. But I forgot what I was saying. It's all right. You guys get what I'm saying. Do you? Oh, okay. So, yeah, basically in Seattle, we can't have female ginkgo trees because of the fact of how messy they are. And that is like a downside sometimes to having, like, usually that they are, the fruiting and um, the fruiting plants. And so, but sometimes also like a plant will go be like just both sexes and it can do all of it by itself and it doesn't really need anything. I don't really believe that plants live in the binary, but I think that they can have binary traits. But I definitely don't like to assign plants to binary standard. That was something that always bothered me. Uh, a lot of stuff like that in horticulture, but the world's changing, and so it'll take time for people to learn different ways to identify that kind of stuff in scientific forms, I suppose. Um, so we're moving on now to my alocasias. So my first one is my Alocasia polly, also known as the Chris plant slash elephant ear. I'm actually really surprised this one has lived as long as it has, but also I learned some things along the way that really helped make it a bountiful plant. Because before I killed one of these, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I shouldn't have one. And then I saw this one at Home Depot and I was like, but I want it. I love it. Because those beautiful veination pattern with the leaves, it's fabulous. This is a very common one as well. And it's just, I love it. I love it. This plant's amazing. So let's talk about it. It's described as having like leathery, wavy edged, arrowhead shaped, dark bronze green leaves with conspicuous contrasting thick white to silvery green main veins. That's what she said. I'm sorry. No. So yeah, Alocasia polly. It's Alocasia amazonica polly, and it is just so beautiful. I love this plant. One of the things that you should know in general about alocasias, if you want one, they go dormant in the winter, and they do sometimes drop all of their leaves and almost appear to be completely dead. And I had to find that out probably the hard way and learn that that's actually just a part of the plant cycle and how they work. And sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes it doesn't drop all of its leaves. Sometimes it keeps like one or two, but it's actually rare. And so I'm like still wondering if the one that I thought I killed was just dormant, you know? But now that I know that, I feel a lot better during the winter when this plant's kind of just not doing much, because I know that it actually just seasonally like goes dormant. When the temperatures go that low, it just naturally goes into dormancy basically. And so let's see, these like warm indoor locations as well. And yeah, I love alocasias. They can be so finicky and difficult. These ones really like to have like consistent water. Like same like I was talking about that philodendron, the black and gold philodendron. It needs to have pretty consistent water, but not too much, so that it doesn't get root rot. And I find that it actually does really well in kind of like an orchid like mixed soil, or at least something that has a bit of that wood chippiness that orchid soil can have. And my alocasias have been pretty happy in it. And I do use fertilizer on all of my plants, but I usually only fertilize a couple times a year, and you should only be fertilizing your plants only a couple times a year. It only needs to be once or twice a year, every 6 months to a year. You can do that, and I recommend doing it in springtime. Sometimes it needs a little bit of a boost. So there's more advice from me. Wake up. Okay. So the next one is the Alocasia fried egg, also known as the green velvet alocasia. I love this one. Um, this one feels like an ode to my favorite lady in the world, Miss Jenna Marbles. I remember watching her plant tour and seeing this plant, being like, I want this plant so bad. And I honestly just didn't really see it like often in stores or anything, and it was usually pretty expensive. And so I saw this little baby one, and I just had to. It's got a really nice velvety texture, similar to that black and gold philodendron. It's very light. It's very. I love the vein patterns on alocasias. They're just so beautiful. It's still, again, they grow in this kind of like, it's like a stump, and that's where it just keeps coming from, you know. And it's so pretty. I've only had it for a few weeks, and it's been relatively sturdy, which is surprising for a young plant in general, and one that can be fussy. But like, you just have to remember with alocasias, they drop leaves, but they will probably put out more. If it doesn't put out more, then you might be in trouble. But alocasia fried egg, we love you. So it's like also described as having heart to arrowhead shaped leaves, each held by sturdy slash succulent stems. It has a velvety dark green look and an arid texture to the leaves, and it's so cute. I just think it's just a cute plant. Like, is this not a Karoque's face right now? Are you kidding me, bro? Yeah. Like, so I love my alocasias. I try to limit myself to them because they are one of the ones that it's like you just need to be hyper vigilant of them. But they are like my favorite from my favorite plants as well. Okay. So as we were saying though, for overall care for alocasias, they like a warm indoor location with high humidity and bright and direct light. They like slightly acidic soil, and a well draining container is super crucial for them because of that. You don't want that stagnant water. They like it moist but not wet or soggy, you know. And so you want to scale back watering during the dormant periods. It can still use some watering, but it doesn't need a lot of watering because it doesn't really have any leaves. It's chilling. It just give it a little bit, it'll be okay. Okay, now we are moving on to some of the last portions of the plant tour, and then we'll get to have some cat time, and if the gecko is up for it, we'll also have some gecko time and some axie time too. Even axies are kind of just chilling right now. Okay, so we're moving to cacti and succulents. Whoop, whoop. Okay, just making sure. Sorry, mic boom. Making sure everything's still good. Excuse me. So let's start with the Christmas cactus. Everyone's pretty familiar with these guys. Oh, hi, Steve. It's so nice. Thanks for being here. So Christmas cactus, Schlumbergera bridgesii. So it's a very popular cactus of the cacti family, described as having flattened stems, and is grown for its striking and cerise flowers. Blooms happily indoors around Christmas time in the northern hemisphere. And in some hot climates, it can be placed outdoors, and it's native to southeastern Brazil. I think I've only had like one or two flower, but it was this year actually, and it was really cool. I had like some little pink flowers. I actually think there's one right there that's trying to come out right now. Some pink flowers, some white ones, some red ones, and they're just really nice, especially during like the winter when you don't have flowering plants. This is something that I think really brightens it up. They're sensitive to water as well, but this one I would say takes up a fair amount of water in comparison to some other cacti. So you do want to be mindful of how often you water it and just checking that soil moisture. Cacti are not like my specialty. I feel like I abuse my Christmas cacti because I just don't pay attention as much as I probably should. But they are still giving in that way. One of my favorite things about them, let's see, try to show you guys. Here is it. So they do grow like aerial roots. And that's how they disperse little babies and stuff. There's some aerial roots right there on that plant. It's super small. But so it's doing that too because it wants to put out those babies, right? If something breaks, at least it's got that root system so it can get started. So it's kind of the motivation of a lot of plants when it comes to dropping their babies. So something very cool about this plant tour was in researching all of the plants that I have, I was looking, I have had this piece of cactus. It's grown and fallen and grown and fallen and done all kinds of weird things. I didn't know what kind of cacti it was. And it's actually a prickly pear cactus, also known as a nopal cactus. So Opuntia ficus indica. I have to put on my gloves to go grab it because it has spines, so I gotta be careful. And these are gloves that have gauntlets on them. So these are like rosebush gloves. That's what we call these ones. So that you can't like get your sleeves torn. Just overall covering your hands and forearms from getting hurt. So let me go grab this little guy real quick. Okay, come here. Oh. Oh, let go. Let go. Okay. It started grabbing other plants and I started to get worried. All right. Ta-da. So this is my prickly pear cactus that I had literally no idea was a prickly pear cactus. And it's, as you can see, at one point it fell down and I kind of gave up because I had tried so hard to teach it to grow properly upwards. And then it just didn't have a large enough root system to like have enough stability to grow that tall as it wanted to. So it just kept ripping and breaking. So this is kind of the result of that. I had no idea, again, that this was a prickly pear. And it is so cool. It is spiky. It has a couple different kinds of spines on it. It also has like sap. It's really an interesting, fun plant. So let's learn about prickly pears. They are described as having broad, flat, green pads with white spines that can be up to 3 inches long, and they can be flat, curved, or straight. This one kind of has a couple of both. Seems like it has more than one kind. They also are covered with tiny barbed hairs known as glaucids. They are actually native to only America, and they're found in abundance in Mexico and the Caribbean islands. Let me correct what I said. They are native to the Americas, so it's not just America, it's just over here in this region. Let's give Mexico some credit for all of the harvesting that they do with the prickly pear fruit, because prickly pear fruit are actually really, really good for you. So as we know, the prickly pear cacti, they bear fruit, and the fruits are edible, and they can be eaten raw after removing the skin. Often they are made into jellies and candies. Its fruit contains a lot of vitamins and antioxidants, and the plant pigments can actually help reduce inflammation in the body. This one had a long bendy limb before. Yeah, it's been a problem child since I got it, and it's like it's so cool, but what WTF, and why are you growing like that? And stop it. But yeah, this is something that it's like I just acquired, and then I'm like, wait, it's a what now? So yeah, this is a prickly pear. All right, let's put it back. Actually, I'll just put it over here for now. Okay. Whew. Okay. Whew. We are almost to the end of the plant tour. The last plant before I show you some air plants and the gecko tank, it is a mottled spurge cactus. So it's Euphorbia lactea. I actually had never heard of this kind of cactus before. So I looked it up. I didn't, I had it, didn't know what it was, and I was like, okay, cool. So these can grow as like shrubs, basically. They're like, very often they grow in massive, big clumping forms, kind of. This one's like an individual, obviously, so he's kind of just trying, he's starting to get there, he's trying. Um, and so it's described as deciduous, which confuses me because usually a deciduous plant has leaves that it drops. So what are you? You know? It does have these really tiny little leafy looking things at the end, but I don't think that's what it's talking about. Um, so it's like a cactus like succulent shrub or small tree. It can grow to a height of 15 feet, but it is typically maintained as a 1 to 2 foot houseplant. It has spiny stems and mottled branches that are green with white lines, sometimes growing in a crested form, native to tropical Asia, but mainly in India. So these kinds of cacti need enough light. They need to be able to have the sun and the heat, and they enjoy getting some outdoor sun during the summer if possible. They can be very susceptible to being overwatered, and I would suggest getting cacti soil to help with the plant's growth overall. In summer, it's suggested to water your cacti about every 10 days, and then in the winter, only like once a month. Cool. Really quick, I'm going to take a bathroom break, and then we're going to have some kitty cat time and some gecko time. We're going to go look at the gecko tank, gecko plants, see if Miss Gecko Girl wants to play, say hi to the cats, and then check again and see if she wants to play, if she doesn't want to. And yeah, so just hang tight with me because I don't have my cool animations and stuff because I'm streaming from my phone. So I'll be right back. BRB, just enjoy, I guess, looking at my little axolotl swim around. Okay, put you back on. Also, thank you guys so much for being interested and wanting to learn about plants and hang out. Um, I don't know if I missed any questions that people had in the chat, so I'm going to look really quick and just review the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Thoughts on succulents? They're such a vibe. I love succulents. They are really great. One of the things that I don't particularly like about succulents, which kind of feels unfair, but a lot of them, they are just like biennial or annual, so they don't live for more than 1 to 2 years. It does depend on the type of succulent, but they're so beautiful and bountiful, and then they just die, and it's so upsetting. And so I think that, like, as much as I really love succulents, like, I kind of stray away from buying them just because of the fact that I can't handle the emotional damage when it's just like their day, you know, because they're so beautiful. Like, they're lush and thick and beautiful leaves, but I hope to have like some outdoor succulent action. You know, I kind of want to have a little bit of everything one day, but you know, big dreams, right? So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on succulents. Um, let's see. I don't think I missed any questions. Cool. So let's move on to pet time then. Let me get things ready. We're gonna have to lure them with some treats so that we can actually have proper like snuggle time with them, or they won't. They're not gonna come. I have to like lure them. You know, they've got to be convinced and persuaded. So I will use treats to do so. Is it cheating? Who knows? But I don't care. Also, happy fucking Friday. Thanks for being here. Okay, let's get the treats and let's get to shaking them. I hear a train a-comin'. You want snacky? You want snackies? Come here. Come here, Fern. Come here, Luna. The summoning. Okay, so I have two cats. First one approaching is Miss Luna Girl. I've had her for a while. I've had her since 2020. Just going to put some treats on the floor and let them smell really quick, and then I'll flip it around for you guys and give you a little POV. So this is Miss Luna. This is Mr. Fern. As you can see, we do have some little emotes of them in the chat as well. I think if you're just a follower, they're follower emotes as well. But this is, oh, you need to share the snacks with him, okay? He needs to get some too. There you go. These are my little babies. Fern, I've had almost for a year now. He was previously one of my best friend's cats, and now he has a forever home here, and I consider him my friend and I's love child. Can they see your little pretty faces, please? Miss Luna. Fern. Hi. Yeah. Good job, you guys. So Fern's a Maine Coon. I think that's pretty clear. And Luna's a Siamese Lynx Point. She's very moody girl coded. This one is kind of like no brain cell coded. He's so sweet. He just has like very slow thoughts, if any. So let's see if I can get a snuggle in. Hi. Can someone give me a snuggle? Oh. This is Mr. Fern. He's mad. He doesn't really like being held. He does, but he's like on my terms, you know? So yeah, he's massive. Big boy. And Luna's so much smaller than him, which is sometimes tough because he can be such a little brat. Little brat boy. Miss Luna, can Can I hold you? Can you show? Come here. And then this is Miss Luna. She's a sassy little girl. She's so bad. She said, put me down. So, yeah, I feel like they're both different representations of parts of my personality. Get away from the cactus, please. They're always up to something, but they are so sweet. Look at how done he looks. He's like, don't fucking do this. Mom, don't make me look like a baby on TV. Sorry. Anyways, good job, you guys. Okay, well, let's move to the gecko tank. Only love for Gabe. Yeah, that's so true. They love Gabe, especially Luna. She loves Gabe. Gabe's her man, her papa. Okay. So I have a leopard gecko, and I also have 2 axolotls. So let's show you guys. Yeah, Junie. Show you guys the axolotls real quick. They don't do much that's interesting, but this is Wanda. She needs to get a salt rinse because she's got some fungus growing on her gills right now. And this is Cosmo, and he only has 1 eye, so we're getting to look at his good side right now, which is kind of cool. This is a 29 gallon tank. And yeah, it is a lot of fun to have them. They are amphibians. She's a little chunky girl. And now let's go to Junie's new tank. Look at all this stuff I have to put on there so that the cats don't mess with us. So, this is Junie's tank. Why though? There we go. So I just got her this tank today, actually. This is a 20 gallon tank, except it's a high, tall one because I wanted to get her stuff to climb in. Mixture of coconut fiber and different kind of soil substrate mix. So the plants that we have in here, this is Haworthia. It looks a little dirty right now, but if you'll notice, the tips of the Haworthia are actually translucent, which is pretty cool. So that's one of my favorite things, and one of the few things that can actually live in a gecko tank. Look at her. She's in the shadow over there. She's like, I see you, bitch. And then I have some air plants in here for her. I believe this large air plant is called, the King of Tillandsias. Thank you, babe. Tillandsia xerographica, Tillandsia curly slim. So this is the curly slim. This is the king of the Tillandsias. And they both have been super easy and growing happily in the just constant like maintaining of this tank. And so I feel lucky. Off to bed. Good night. Junie, say good night to Liz. Oh, she's back there. Let's see if we can get a good angle on her, maybe. Is this the best angle, baby? Let's see. So Junie's a leopard gecko. I think it's like her morph is called, is it the Rainwater Murphy morph? Oh, also good night, Taylor. Love you both so much. Thank you for being here. Okay, so yeah, it's a Rainwater Murphy morph. I actually obtained this sweet little girl from Frankie in the chat, who is a wonderful, wonderful reptile parent and so much fun, and has taught me everything that I know. So let me see if she looks sleepy and she looks like she doesn't want to hang out, but I'm still gonna try and see if she wants to hang out because she kind of surprises me sometimes. Like she seems like, I don't know, sometimes she's not in the mood. Hey, we all have those days, right? And it's a new tank too. She's adjusting to a new environment today, so. Woo! Just always got to make sure with geckos that you're slow, careful, and try not to be loud because they're very gentle, very delicate. Let me see if I can help with the focusing. Yeah, there we go. Hi, sweetie. Do you want to come out? Hi, Junie. You want some uppy time? Are we curious about uppy time? Want some uppy time? Yeah? Do you want uppies? She's thinking about it. Something you gotta understand. They kind of like to think slow. Kind of like to do their own thing. You want uppies, baby? Usually, though, if she sees my hand, she kind of gets into it. So let's just sit for a second and give her some options. Also, yes, I know the tank is shaking. I am a big bitch and I can't help it. I'm a big bitch and I just cannot help it, okay? Oh, there she is. Hi, little girl. Hi, little girl. Come on. You want to say hi? Here she comes. You just gotta make sure it's mama, huh? She can be kind of shy about it, but she really does like being held a lot, so I try to give her that time to make that decision because I know most of the time she's going to say yes. She really does enjoy it, so she really likes uppy time. She's just kind of slow sometimes. Good job, Junie. Good job. Okay, uppies. Wee. Mommy elevator. Okay. So let's actually go over here. Love, do you guys like my setup? I tried so hard. Ooh. Let's give her some time to adjust. She's very much she likes to snuggle, but it's kind of on her terms. And right now she's like, why did you move me? So this is Junie. She's the rainwater Murphy morph of leopard gecko variety. She's a real sweet little girl. She's very adventurous as well. Um, Seems to be very brave. Yeah, she's gotten massive. That's why I was like, I have to get her. Look at how big she is. I had to get her that bigger tank because she was like, she looked like a, like everything was starting to look like small, you know? Because she's a big girl. Huh. And so, yeah, leopard geckos are really sweet. They're very curious. They're not always like the best when it comes to self-preservation skills. But they once you start to like develop trust with them, it's really a magical and really sweet bond to have with a little animal like this, you know. So I feel very grateful to I'm fortunate to have this little bond with such a little tiny creature, you know. She's a big shoulder gal. This is why she has like why she's called the rainwater Murphy. So she's got this peach coloring here, kind of yellowy. Hi, honey. And then she's got that orange like burst right there, and then this little pink tail. So she really likes my hair. And I think she's like, where's your hair? Fernie? No, she's just doing a 360. Girl. So yeah, I like to give her some autonomy, but sometimes she doesn't make smart choices when it comes to like where she's trying to go. She is very motivated, I guess. Like nothing gets past this little critter, you know. She oh, going around the other side. So this is kind of her favorite game. She likes to go on the shoulder. See if we can see in the reflection. Yeah, she likes to go on the shoulder, have shoulder time. I think she likes to be by my head. I think it makes her feel safe. Um, but let me try to turn. There's this little nugget. So yeah, I don't know, Frankie, if you want to drop some gecko facts in the chat, you can totally do that if you feel, but no pressure. They have tiny, tiny, cute little toenails. Love that about them. They have to taste everything to smell it, like most reptiles, right? Hey, girl. But yeah, and she feels very like cool to the touch. She likes me because I'm a toaster. Guess we're gonna see my back tattoo. I have an eye on the back of my neck. So yeah, this is mainly how we hang out. Like she just likes to like use me as like an obstacle course. And she just kind of runs around. She kind of does whatever she wants. Because she's spoiled. Spoiled geck. Here she comes. Reverse. This is what she does. She just goes back and forth. She's climbing on my head. No, she's not. She's just tickling me with her little nails. Oh. Hi, Pookie. Yeah, Pookie girl. I think she doesn't like my microphone too. I think she thinks it's like something scary. Wrong choice. Wrong choice. Wrong choice. Bad choice. Well, the mirror. I guess I'm glad I have the mirror so you guys can see all the action. Yeah, backtrack. Get up there. There you go. Me side-eyeing my gecko. So, yes, this is Junie. And I adore this little nugget. Where you headed? And with that, I think we might call it a night. Don't think I had anything else planned for you guys besides showing you guys the plants and the pets. So thank you so much for... Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Yeah, you're gonna fall. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. Being interested in the plants and wanting to learn. And I'm hoping to have cuttings available for some giveaways and stuff as well, because I think that would be really fun and a really great way to like share all of the plants that I have, and as well as just like, I don't know, share with the community, right? So be safe, be well, Junie and I will see you again soon. She's so cute, it's like hard to.
Good.
And that's all, folks. Nut. Good night. Good night and happy Friday. Make sure you drink water. Get crunk. Bye. Oh, also, I will be uploading this as a vlog too to YouTube. So please go like it on YouTube when I post it. Love you. Bye.